All right, welcome everyone once again to the MMOs.com podcast. Episode 135 here. Altai, joined this week by...
Omer?
What the hell is that? It's Gumble.
and Gumble! There he is. There he is.
Look at this. The soft jazz music right here on the MMOs.com podcast. We have the smoothest MMOs.com news coming at you hot.
Gumby, I like that voice. You should rock that voice for the entire podcast.
It's hard. It's hard to fake that.
Yeah, it's hard. I don't have a radio voice. I'm too pretty.
Gumby is our guest this week, and we're going to talk a lot about fun stuff, as usual.
And we will catch up with what he's been up to, which I guess
we should probably do that first.
I can summarize it real quick. I've been hustling. You know, I stand on the corner and I sell pictures of starships to young kids, and I say, "Hey, Starships is coming out, and one day you're gonna be really rich." And so that's how I've been surviving. You know, it's hard work. You know, hustling JPEGs, but it pays enough.
Learn from the
You go
best.
by alter ego Chris Roberts.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to channel, you know, our Lord and Savior Chris Roberts.
That's actually a pretty interesting way to describe what he does. He hustles JPEGs. He sells JPEGs to children, promising games. I like it.
You want to play a great game? A couple years, kid.
It's still happening. Just a couple more years. There's actually still no release date for that game at all. Like, it's amazing that there's no release date. Like, come on, put something out there as like a goal at least, you know? Nothing.
I also, Gumba, you told me a story a few weeks back about your Vert coins, your crypto story, of how you thought you had a free 3K waiting for you.
I thought I had a couple grand, yeah.
All right, you want to go?
Nothing.
It's a fun story.
A couple of years ago, I used to mine cryptocurrency, and I basically built my own computer case out of wood, so I could get 3 graphics cards on one motherboard. So I had, and the case was so shoddily built that the graphics cards were actually the pivot that held the whole frame together. So it was actually leaning. I wish I still had a picture. But anyway, I learned the bare bones amount of Linux, and I mined Vertcoin and a couple other like shit coins like Potcoin and some other BS ones. And you know, I put my USB away. I gave up after a while after my parents, at the time I was living with them, said, "Holy shit, our electric bill is through the roof. What the fuck are you doing?" So I stopped. And so I went back home. I flew home for Christmas, and I thought, oh my God, the whole market's up. I'm gonna make some money. And then I looked at the frame with the motherboard still there. I sold the graphics cards off, and then I realized, oh my God, the USB I was running Linux on to mine these coins. I reformatted that USB years ago so I could store movies for Roku or something on it. So I did not have a couple grand. And you know, it's okay. I had a lot of fun. I will say this. Mining when I did was a lot of fun because it was a lot scummier than it is now. So today, I mean, I won't go into too much detail, but basically a couple of years ago, people who had Twitter followers would just go, hey, this coin, buy this one. And they would just pump and dump a new coin every day. So everyone would rush to buy these coins and try and make a quick buck, but it was always a scam. So I was part of that, and it was fun. I had fun doing it. I mean, whatever.
That's good.
That's the whole point. If you have fun, it doesn't matter.
And that's why I still recommend mining for people who want to get into crypto. It's one thing to just dump 5K and buy like a half of a Bitcoin, right? And just say, oh, I'm going to get rich. But you're not connected to it. You're not enjoying the experience. Right. If you just spend that 5K on an Ethereum mining rig, you know what? You're going to be involved. You're going to learn, like you said, Linux. I bet that was the first time you actually booted up Linux. I
was going to say, you learn the bare bones of Linux to do that stuff, to mine. But oh my God, you feel like a genius. Okay, you feel like you're walking with your chest puffed out. You start putting tape on your glasses. You feel like the smartest guy in town.
When you have a command prompt window open on your screen, and you shit into it, you feel like I'm a fucking lead hacker, boy.
Hacker man. But
it's something like the command is something like CMDR mine space mine. You're like, yeah, lead hacker. But good times.
Yeah, and I really think not just learning Linux, but the whole experience, the whole environment, the community. You know, you really feel invested. You get something out of it. I think that will go on more than whatever gains or losses you have after.
I agree. It's interesting times.
And actually, with that, guys, look at that segue I introduced. We're gonna go right to the weekly raid.
You used me.
Yeah,
you got used. Segue.
Got.
Your story was just fodder, okay?
Oh my God.
And so this week, I ask, will Cryptocoins find their way into MMOs? And we know by reading these white papers for a lot of these shit coins, they each promise some new bullshit. You know, I was actually reading about one yesterday called Poet Coin. somehow it's going to be used by creative people to like digitally sign their articles they write. Whatever. I think it's bullshit. But that got me thinking. Maybe there's an actual use for these, if not in the real world, at least in gaming. And the closest parallel I could find was a lot of big companies like Nexon already have a unified currency, premium currency among their games, like NX Cash, right? So it works in MapleStory, it works in Vindictus. Imagine if something players did in game, achievements, or perhaps something they did off game, like doing surveys or whatever, some bullshit, earned you this Nexon coin, which you could use in game, trade, etc. It would have value. People would want to, get it. And obviously Nexon can just issue as many as they want, so they want it too. It's free money. Thoughts? Round table?
It's never gonna happen. There's already a few. There's already a few out there. I don't know if you heard of something called. Well, we talked about Never Die coins. Maybe we can talk about that first. There's something called game credits. They're already out there. They're worth like $230 million. I don't know why. And I'm looking at their website, and it seems like it's like the most useless thing in the world. So let me go and link that to you. Maybe you can go on. Just take a look at their website real quick. So yeah, if you look on there, if you look at the scroll down to the benefits, it's some it's just supposed to be a cryptocurrency used for
what?
For game developers.
Did he have this?
Yeah, for game developers and players.
I didn't know.
If you scroll down to the benefits page, I don't even get it. Like, go to for developers, their benefits, right? Receive payments faster, blah blah blah. If you scroll, it says game over for cheaters. That number seems bullshit to me because they say game over for cheaters. 50 to 99% of all virtual good purchases are fraudulent. Game credits are based on the blockchain. Transactions are permanent with 0% chance for fraud. There's no way 50 to 99% of all virtual good purchases are fraudulent. That number is pulled from straight out of somebody's ass.
Whoa. It depends how they define fraudulent. If trading the currency, like if RMT is by itself not allowed in the TOS, then the whole transaction is fraudulent.
There's no way 50.
Whoa. Before we get into the specifics, I want to point out something. We're talking about Never Die here.
No, this is game credits.
This is game credits.
Okay.
The bullshit one.
We jumped.
We're jumping all over the place.
Oh my! Because I just wanted to point out that Never Die token, and maybe this has been brought up before. I think it has, but it has a really great supporter. Do you know who supports Never Die token? Maybe someone in chat knows. My favorite person, it's Shroud of the Avatar, which definitely shows me that Shroud of the Avatar is just really pushing the boundaries of what gaming can do by adopting this bullshit coin called Never Die that I've never heard of. That means Shroud of the Avatar is never gonna die, right? And Lord British is definitely doing a great thing for the industry. Honestly, you just gotta respect the man.
Wow.
You have to respect the Never Die people too, because they were ambitious. All right, they were talking about like I think their white paper talks about creating like billions of VR jobs.
Yes.
Never Die.
Yes.
Gumby, literally, they said the Never Die coins will lead to the creation of billions of virtual reality jobs.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Is that stupid cooking game I got when I bought my VR headset and I was flipping burgers?
There you
go. That's what I want to do when I play VR.
I actually have a little infographic here, a little display of how Never Die describes their future. So in 1982, apparently, the entire video gaming industry was only $11.8 billion. Okay, now powered by Never Die coin in 2022, there's going to be $1 trillion of just virtual goods. Okay.
Wow.
And then by using $100 billion of Never Die coins, you can like be part of this ecosystem. What do you think?
No.
I think this is utter bullshit. Actually, if you go to the Never Die website, it's actually pretty hilarious. If you start clicking around, you'll see like your wallet on there, and you can see like all these avatars. Do you see that? It just looks like this weird, janky sci-fi game.
All right, let me go to Never Die.
Yeah, it's called NeverDie.com. And you just mess around on there, and like you can see all these avatars for stuff like on the right side. Once you go to that link I gave you,
I'm looking at it. I have no idea what's going on. So I guess these are all different currencies that you can have in.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually have a plugin called MetaMask, and this actually integrates with that. It's like coming up for me.
If you click on your avatar, you can there's like multiple races you can play. I don't know what they're trying to do here. It just looks really weird. And like none of these features on the left side are actually active anyway. But what's remarkable is these Never Die coins are actually worth some money. There's obviously they went down since they became publicly traded, but all the Never Die coins are worth about $5 million. Not a bad chunk of change.
He made $5 million, guys, doing nothing.
That's the current market cap. If they ICO, I think they made a lot more. I don't know how the ICOs work.
So I'm sure everyone out there has friends, family, annoying siblings who are just going on and on about cryptocurrency right now. So I don't want to harp on too much about it. Suffice to say, everyone has their own favorite. Someone in chat is talking about Ryblox. I don't know what those do, but I'm sure they're going to change the world. in some way.
In a way, I just can't wait for all this shit to like die down and crash, because there's so many smug assholes out there right now. Talk about how rich they're getting, and it's getting pretty annoying.
Oh, why?
Everyone thinks they're a fucking genius.
Because you're not getting in on it.
No, everyone thinks they're a genius right now with what Cryptocoins are doing, but nobody even understands this shit. Nobody talking about this stuff. Like maybe 1% of people understand how the blockchain actually works, how this technology actually works. Everyone's in it to get rich quick. All right.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
All right, so I take it from you, Omar, that in your view, cryptocurrencies will not be some kind of universal currency in gaming. Okay.
And definitely not in gaming. There's no benefit. I don't understand. Like, if you look, I'm looking at this game credits page. It's so stupid. They're saying like all these virtual transactions are fraudulent, and that's why the developers want to use them. Like, I get that. Like, the benefit for a developer to use any virtual currency would be like there's no chargebacks, right? Because there's no refunds. But the reason like refunds exist and chargebacks exist is to protect consumers. That's a huge benefit to consumers. If your credit card gets stolen and somebody buys like a shit ton of mesos and next cash with it, like you can just get a chargeback because it's not, you didn't make that purchase. So there is a benefit for people to to use credit cards. And for developers, if they just say tough cookies, we're not giving your money back, it's just bad business anyway. And like I don't see any benefit for players. If you look at the actual benefits page, they say higher deposit limits, no restricted deposit limits. You can deposit as much money as you possibly want in your game credits wallet. The advertising, like if you want to be a whale and spend $1 million, you can easily. But who is running to that problem where like I'm at my credit card limit, I can't spend any more money this week on a Game of War? Like who's that affecting?
I think you'd be surprised.
No, there's very few people that's actually impacted the deposit limits. There's no benefit to this shit.
I got it. Mistress coin. All right. Let's say your wife checks up on the credit card statements and bank statements, and you need a way to pay your mistress and buy your mistress fancy things and take her out to dinner. See, if you use mistress coins.
Now I have this problem. Please tell me more.
Now accept
I'm
the
always
Google.
trying to buy my mistress things, and I just can't find the time.
All right, we gotta mine some. You mine them by cheating on your spouse. That's how you mine mistress coins. All right.
Yeah, that makes sense. Boy, tell me more.
All right, here's what I actually like though. The concept of the universal currency amongst games, I think, would be really cool. But it's impossible to work because imagine gil you earn in Final Fantasy, gold you earn in World of Warcraft is universally like accepted in every MMORPG, whether it's EVE Online, in some kind of exchange rate, like some official exchange rate that Blizzard works with CCP, they work with Square Enix, they work with fucking Flife, and there's an exchange rate between currencies, and it's handled like on some official exchange. I think that'd be really cool if you could just move your money and assets in between games.
That's less likely to happen. They're never going to cooperate.
Yeah, exactly. It can't happen because they won't cooperate. The only way to do it is if you want to sell it for cash and buy it cash for those games. Yeah. But I think it'd be cool if you did have some kind of universal system like that, which I think would be beneficial for players. But all these crypto bullshits, whether it's Cry Cash, whether it's game credits, whether it's Never Die coins, it's all bullshit. It's stay away. stay as far away as possible.
I have a great tweet I want to show you guys here. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this guy says the Bitcoin bubble is even more absurd than you could possibly imagine. And the highlighted text here says, but his main hobbies were reading 4chan and buying vintage pornography. Passions that exposed him to cryptocurrency. He said his holdings are into double-digit millions now, but wouldn't give a specific other than saying he quit his job and started a hedge fund.
What?
Next tweet. Okay. Quote, when I meet people in the normal world now, I get bored, Mr. Hummer said. It's just a different level of consciousness. This guy went from sitting in his underwear, reading 4chan, and collecting vintage pornography to thinking he's like a fucking, like demigod.
Porn IQ demigod. What the fuck?
I love the internet.
I have read a lot of shitposting green text that's just like that. Like, still sitting here shitposting, having bought Bitcoin years ago and forgetting about it, and now I'm a millionaire. And you guys are still here too.
Oh man, good stuff.
I'm sure you know what. I can believe that there's someone out there like that.
Yeah. People say it's trolling, but you know what? It's definitely possible. If Omar and I just kept what we mined, okay?
You would never hear from them again.
You would never hear from me again. That's true. I actually want to share if I can find I have an email, an original invoice for Bitcoins I sold, and it's really, really embarrassing. But I want to share it because I think it's pretty funny. I got to dig for it though. It's gonna be a little dig.
While you're digging, there is actually a fun app on I saw it in the App Store yesterday. It's called Sweatcoin. I don't know, Gumble, have you heard of this one?
Does that have to do with Entropia Universe?
No.
That's what?
No, it works off your. You know how your phone tracks how many steps you take?
Sure.
So this app, you run it in the background. You allow it to access your, stats, like you're walking.
Get paid to work out. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yes. As you walk, okay, you generate sweat coins, which you can use to buy like things like a Fitbit, like running sneakers.
Who's legit. Accepting this?
No. Within the app, you can use these. I guess it's a promotion like Fitbit's doing. Like trying to yeah.
They're doing it to share it. Yeah, it's a neat idea. It's not gonna. I don't think it'd go anywhere. It's
it's number 1 in free apps right now globally.
Wow! Wow!
People want to sweat for them coins.
Joshy said cool, somebody has it. All right, guys. This is our bill of shame right here. Our slip of shame.
This is the biggest regret right here, boys.
Explain what's going on here, Omar.
So this is just an order history that shows I sold 25 Bitcoins for $303 at a unit price of $12.14 each.
And how much would they be now?
250 grand.
250 grand, boys. Right here. Order history. Confirmed.
Gone. I got $300 for it. It would have been worth over $250,000.
Yeah, sucks to suck. Oh well, get pwned.
Yeah, that's what it is. It sucks to suck. But damn, that's 250 G's. I get all the maple bitches, all right? I've been sitting on the most swag fucking maple chair.
All right. Well, this is our story of Bitcoin, guys. So.
Yeah, I want to. You know what? Listen, all this Bitcoin and maple bitches talk. I want to know what's going on, guys, in the MMO.
Oh, MMOs.
Universe.
All right.
Let's go back to MMORPGs. All right, get the cryptocurrency bullshit out.
All
right,
right, we're done with crypto. Let's move on.
I'm out of this is like you gotta like I'm back in class. I don't know what's going on. I ain't reading the syllabus. What's happening?
All right, I want to tell you what's happening with this game real quick. So I linked it to Alta. You can show it on stream. Yeah. We shut down. We'll go with Devilian Shutting Down first. All right. I doubt any of us were really excited about Devilian, but I actually really like their shutdown notice because I know you've seen plenty of games shut down, Gumble, in your good old days with MMOs.com.
I sure did.
And all those shutdown announcements read like, we regretfully inform you that with much sadness that this game is shutting down. Right? They all start that way, right? Every one of those shutdown announcements. But these guys are fucking geniuses at Devilian. All right. They weren't sad. They didn't apologize that the game is shutting down. They basically said, you players, you won the game. So their announcement reads, an important message for all the Devilians. You have harnessed your inner strength to vanquish the demons throughout Nala, saving it from utter destruction. We thank you for bringing justice and peace back to these ravaged lands. The time for the Devilians is drawn to a close. On March 5th, 2018, the sun will set over a peaceful Nala for the last time. The time has come to lay down your arms and carry the laurels of your victories with you to other worlds. So basically, evil is defeated, and that we turn the servers off because there's no need to play Devilian. You killed the main bad guys, game over. GG, you saved the world.
I love it.
Team. I love it. It's actually like really, it's a fun way to close the game off.
I like that, and I gotta say, for better or worse, I did like Devilian.
Wow.
I played quite a bit of it. I don't really remember. I wrote the review. I don't remember it too much. I remember my character was beautiful. This guy right here. I'm just looking. But it was fun. I just hack and slash my way across 30 levels or so.
But yeah, game is dead. No surprise. The mobile game is also dead. And obviously the guys making it, Bluehole, are focusing all those energies and efforts. Like, why would they have any staff working on Devilian when they could work on PUBG?
Gumball, did you remember that Bluehole was a developer?
I didn't actually. No.
Yeah.
I actually had no idea Bluehole was a developer. I don't remember that.
So they have a bigger fish to fry now. They're working on PUBG. They don't have time for this minnow. Which actually
they need to print that sweet money, and they need to. That means they're very busy not stopping hackers from ruining PUBG. They're very busy just counting their cash.
Their Benji rolls.
Their Benji rolls.
I have a similar story to this one. Paragon. I don't know if you remember that one, Gumble.
Mm-hmm.
It's having
a MOBA. I despise it. Go ahead.
Indeed, it's having a hard time. Last week, the development team, they put a very frank post on their subreddit saying basically, guys, we don't know what to do. This game is not growing. Okay, it's basically a waste of our money and resources. And on top of that, Fortnite was a way bigger success than we imagined. And basically, that game requires all hands on deck to just keep the servers from blowing up, right? So they've been diverting a lot of their developers and talent to Fortnite, and that's leaving Paragon barren. And they actually reached out to the community. They said, what should we do? We're not shutting the game down yet, but updates are going to be a lot slower. And they're basically saying, you know, we're out of plans here. We're out of options. What do we do?
At least they were honest.
Yeah.
Forward. That's very nice of them, actually.
I like that as well. They reached out to the Reddit community, their player base, saying basically like, we're out of ideas. What do you got? It's kind of, you know, they're probably leaning towards they want to shut the game down, and maybe they see a really good idea from the player base. They might implement it. And actually, they did implement an idea about Fortnite. Where I think we talked about it last week, but somebody posted like an idea for like an area they can add to the Fortnite map and a name for it, and they literally added it like in a few patches later, like literally what the guy suggested on Reddit. So they are open to taking feedback from their players. So it's cool that they're actually reaching out and doing that. Most games just, you know, kind of just shut down on their own without even giving a shit what their players think.
Or they sit around in denial and then blame the rest of the industry or some conspiracy for why their game didn't do well. Lawbreakers.
Yeah, lawbreakers blame PUBG. It's so stupid.
So
yeah, it's.
So okay, here's a question for you guys on the panel. Do you think Unreal Epic should shut down or at least suspend development on Paragon to focus on Fortnite? I say yes.
They have to. There's no like I get the game as fans, but like Fortnite has 2 million concurrent players in North America and Europe. Like this is the game. Like they're going to put all their money there because that's making all the money. It's got all the players, and Paragon just is not able to maintain players. They said they can't retain people. People keep quitting. They've changed the game so many times already, but it doesn't work. When something doesn't work, you know, you got to shut it down. That's it. You gotta take it out back and shoot it, as they say.
Okay,
do they still say that? They still. I better be careful. I remember my dad said that to me once, but luckily I got away. I mean, I don't know if the right answer is shutting down on that, but I do want to point out that I very, very vividly remember something that you said, Altai, almost 2 years ago. It's fun having me back. I remember you said that Paragon was nothing more than a demo for Unreal Engine for Epic. And I still wonder if that was true or not. But I want to point out that if that was true, they sure as shit don't care about demoing Unreal anymore because they got Fortnite now. And the money's coming in, and it's hot. I don't know. I think it would be cool. I think when a game suffers, I think the cool thing to do is to turn it over to the community. So my only example is Natural Selection 2. What's the studio behind it? They wanted to go into Subnautica and a couple other games. Yeah, Unknown Worlds I think is right. And so what they did was they stopped developing the game and they gave it to the community, and then a community team took over and started developing the game, and you know it's still going. You know, it still has support for a small dedicated community. So I think it's unfortunate to take a game completely offline. If you have a community that loves it and sticks with it, why not turn to them? I think that's a really cool thing to do, and I wouldn't mind seeing that happen more often.
Actually, that's a good idea, Gumbo. And Epic is in a great position to do that because their other game, Unreal Tournament, on the same launcher, is basically some kind of open source / community-driven game, and it's not doing that well either. And I'm gonna tell you guys why it's not doing well and why Paragon is not doing well. I said it's an engine demo because it has no character, and it has the same problem as Unreal Tournament on the Epic launcher. When we played that game, it felt just generic, right?
Yeah, super
now, why did Fortnite succeed? Because of those cartoony graphics. It has style. It has attitude. When I'm looking at this Paragon video, okay, and it's just the most thing I could think of.
Very beige.
Yeah, exactly, just beige. It's like those old towers, you know, those PCs, beige towers. You know,
it's like the epiphany of gaming up through the late 2000s. These meaty, serious, edgy characters. The Call of Duty, the Halo. It's like Halo Man. I don't know. Does that make sense? Diversify all these characters. There was like a period of time where all these big studio games, and they always have the same box art with the guy and his back's turned. He's looking over his shoulder like this. It's the Crisis box art exemplifies it. It's like big meaty people slapping their meat against each other. That's what I think of. And you know, some people it appeals to them, and I get it. But maybe that a general audience is just tired of it, so it doesn't look like his character.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, but I'm very happy that they're doing well with Fortnite, and I personally think Fortnite's an amazing game. I know a few guys in chat were disagreeing, but it runs buttery smooth. The pace of development is much faster than PUBG's right now. They're adding new items, new like map edits very quickly. Gum, I don't know if you were here for last week, but basically Epic said Fortnite is the biggest game in the Western world right now.
So I've heard.
Yeah. So
you came into our Discord gloating about that as we were playing PUBG. You said, "Hey guys, guess what? I know you're playing PUBG, but it's not even the biggest game in the world. You losers." He said that too, and then Aaron sneered, and he's like, "You guys are fucking losers. Play Fortnite, you losers." Okay.
Sounds exactly what they would do.
Yeah. All right. Well, there it is. All right, Omar, you can take the next story.
All right. This is a fun one. Actually, this is actually pretty good. No, this is another Try on Worlds related one. Rift is launching a new subscription based option. So this is actually kind of cool. So this game is actually pretty hilarious because they're launching a subscription server, and it's hilarious because they've literally gone full circle. For those that don't remember, this game launched a subscription. It went free to play. Then they made expansions buy to play, and now they're going back to subscription. They're throwing their darts everywhere. Okay, they've literally tried everything. Which I don't know, it's pretty funny.
Wait. So is this a separate server?
Yes, it's a separate server.
And it's not going to have the cash app.
Are you kidding? Of course they have a cash app. Gumby, come on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There's no loot boxes though. There's no loot boxes, but they will have cash shops and they will sell cosmetics. So the only thing you're avoiding is all the pay to win stuff, all the stuff like in-game content. Besides, it's just cosmetics is what they're gonna say.
So what you're saying is time is a flat circle, and we're coming full circle.
Wow.
Yes.
Somebody watched that movie. What was that movie?
Which movie?
With the circle aliens, the squid aliens, the calamaris.
You know what's sad is I defended that movie. I couldn't remember the name. So
yeah,
wow.
look at that last thing I heard. It was Arrival.
Arrival.
I still liked it. I really enjoyed it. I do think it was a great movie. But we don't need to go there again. We could just rehash the old podcast, whichever number it was.
You know, I think
these guys. I mean, I think they'll actually do pretty well because it's a progression server, not so much because of the fact that it's not going to have the loot boxes. And we talked a couple weeks ago that they were selling $100 loot boxes at one point. So Rift got a lot of flack for selling $100 loot boxes for their game, for these rare mounts.
That's a bit absurd.
But yeah. I agree it's absurd, right? But like, if those $100 loot boxes, they gave away mounts, right? These special mounts in the game. If you're a free to play user, like, there are things to be offended about, right? Obviously, the game sells some content. They sell some gear and stuff, and some pay to win stuff. But if they're going to sell $100 loot boxes for mounts, like, is that going to affect you? Like, if you played Rift and they release a $100 loot box for a cosmetic mount, like, who?
Yes, the answer is yes. I'm deeply offended. Okay, that piece of shit should not be able to spend $100 and get a mount. I sit there and play 14 hours every day. I shit in a bag. All right, I'm hardcore. I want the mount. Okay, I want it.
Then start donating some sperm and blood and go pay for it. $100.
Donate sperm and blood, he says.
I've actually turned around on this. I've turned around on this. I used to not mind the cosmetics. Now I do. And here's why. If it actually stopped at cosmetics, I wouldn't mind. But I really feel like the developers are intentionally boiling the frog. See, they want to get you primed. They want the expectation to be there that a $100 item in the store is fine. It's fine. It's cosmetic. It's okay. Don't worry about it. And then you play for a year, 2 years. New people enter the gaming world. New 10-year-olds. They're okay. Oh, $100 item. Nobody's batting an eye. It's cool. Then they add content in there, or like the best gear, best in stock gear, and now everyone's used to it already. So now it's fine. No problem.
So you're saying they're playing the long con?
Yes.
Wait. So what you're really saying is that lizard people run the MMO industry. Where's Alex Jones? Get him in here. It does feel, yeah. That's why I said it's a full circle. It's like, okay. We're gonna see how long and how far can we screw you. Oh, you don't want to get screwed anymore? Oh, we're sorry. Here, start paying for the game again. We'll stop screwing you. It does feel silly, and pretty funny. And you want to talk about what's killing games? Well, it sure ain't definitions. It's more like shitty strategic choices and business models and backpedaling and. I don't know. I got nothing else. Reptiles, done.
Reptiles are killing the MMO industry. You heard it here first, boys. The reptilian agenda.
Rift is not the first game to do this, by the way. Where they go to free to play and then they charge you a subscription for their old game. Because remember, this Rift server is going to be a progression server, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So basically, I think all these developers know. Look, we forgot how to make good games a long time ago. Okay. So if you actually want to play if you want to play our old game, you got to pay us. EverQuest does this. The actual current servers are free, or at least have a free version, right?
Yeah.
But the progression servers, which are the most popular, they cost a subscription.
Popular.
Yeah, they cost a subscription. Alodds did this, I believe.
Yeah, other than the progression server though, but it was just a premium server.
Yeah.
They have that model as well.
So
Online has one too.
That's true. So I think all these developers are like, wait a minute, the people who actually knew how to make good games, they left these companies long ago, And these guys are they fucked it up so bad that nobody wants to play for free even. I said they got to start charging for the old game again.
I just want to point out the shift that's happened here. Back in the day, you would pay a subscription to support the development team and content, right? Now, you pay the development team to not screw you over with $100 loot boxes. You don't pay them to develop the game because they're not doing that anymore.
It's like a blackmail system now. If you don't pay them, they're gonna fuck you up the ass. Which is kind of sad because I feel like that kind of does defeat like player morale to a degree. And yeah, I think you're right to a degree too that a lot of this is priming players. You know, like for stuff later on, because I think for cosmetics, I think a lot of people don't mind, but when people get used to that price point, they can start selling other stuff in there, and it does become that, whether they intend to do that or not right now.
Indeed.
Bastards.
There was actually an article on Gama Sutra covered it. Some like industry veterans came together and made a guide on like how to like do loot boxes, how to like be legit with your players and some shit, and how to monetize your game honestly, like an ethical way to monetize your game. And basically it says all the obvious stuff, you know, don't lie to your players, you know, your players should never regret what they buy, all that jazz.
I actually have a good story for this. So this week, Camelot Unchained raised some money. They raised $7.5 million. And you know, beyond just the fact that they raised money, the interesting thing to me was Q&A he did on Twitch live. Mr. Jacobs, he's the guy who made Dayak, by the way, Dark Age of Camelot. So in his Q&A, they asked him, somebody asked him why he raised more money, why didn't they do more crowdfunding? And he said, look, we had the option to either do more crowdfunding, sell more like founders packs, but he said, I don't want to sell like castles and like flying mounts or whatever, like, 'cause I'm not interested in that. I want to make the game, charge a subscription, and that's it. Which I respect that. That's interesting.
Yeah, gets my respect.
He was also a graceful man. He did not insult other developers. He just said, you know, we have different ways of doing business. But I'm going to do what he didn't want to do. Or I'm going to insult the other developers.
I was just thinking the same thing. Oh, we'll insult them for you. Don't worry.
Now, somebody in chat on Twitch at the time mentioned Crowfall. Okay, so I'm going to bring up Crowfall.
Oh no, what's happened with Crowfall?
Well, they threw morals out the window, and they're charging like $5,000 for castles, $1,000 founders packs, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, they've been doing that.
Yeah, but here's the beautiful thing, which I never noticed before. I don't know if this was here. Perhaps it wasn't even there. Oh no, did they get rid of this since like yesterday? Oh man, they might have actually got rid of their store.
Crowfall store. Just explain it then. What you saw.
So if you guys remember the old on podcast, we've showed it many times too. They sell like castles for 5,000, all this stuff, and next to the buy now option, there was a red button that said layaway. They took layaway options for their founders packs and like pre-sale like items.
Ew.
I thought that was insane.
It's like, why would you lay away? It's not like these are like limited quantity. You know, these are literally digital goods.
Can I point out something weird about their website? I'll send it to you. This is the type of image you expect to find on a website that sells leather phone cases, not a game, where it shows you the acceptable payment methods.
Oh, exactly.
That's weird.
I found it, by the way, Altai. I linked it to you.
Oh, where was it?
Just like, yeah, you can lay away your $7,000 castle. You want that 2017 Imperial Palace? I want a 2018 Imperial Palace.
So they do still have that.
Right?
I just couldn't find it. Yeah. Yeah.
So you can get a layaway option for that Imperial Palace for only $1,000 down. What a deal, boys!
Who is doing this? Like who contacted their support team and said, "Listen, I really want the $7,000 castle, but I work at McDonald's, so I need payment plans here. I need to pay for this castle for the next 5 years." All right?
How long until Crowfall offers the knife selling budget, in which they sell you knives that you then go and sell door to door in order to buy yourself a castle?
I like it.
I think it's amazing that they can sell this. It's insane.
Look, I can respect that pay to play model. I think there's a lot of nostalgia and a lot of reverence now for, especially with how games are monetizing. The old model was very straightforward. You know, you pay your monthly subscription, you play the game. And things have definitely gotten more nebulous since then. And some games obviously do free to play a lot better than others. But I don't think it's fair to just kind of write off all the free to play as like some cash grab. I mean, like I think even buy to play games have cash shops. Even World of Warcraft has a cash shop. But there's this kind of like expectation that it's Blizzard. They're not gonna screw you over, right? Blizzard's not gonna sell pay to win shit in their cash shop, but they never have. So you know, it depends on what company you're working with. I think if it's a Chinese company, you gotta kind of expect it's gonna be pay to win, pretty much regardless of what they say. I mean, it's gonna happen, especially in an MMORPG. But Blizzard has yet to screw people.
Okay, that's all fair, right?
Yeah.
But I want to point out that someone said, "What would you do to fix things? If they're broken, right?"
Yeah.
I see the post. They're like, the genre's dying, blah blah blah. Okay, how do we fix this? Okay, here's the answer. Bring back subscription.
Oh wow.
I'm gonna go ahead and say, bring back the subscription, and you'll fix. Maybe you don't actually fix everything, but you'll fix a perception. And perception is often much more important than reality. So I say, bring the subs back, get rid of the loot boxes, and get rid of this BS knife selling tactic to make money to make your game. And I think you actually have a model for the genre. I
don't think people will actually pay up for the subscription, though. I think despite all the bitching, people are
Oh my goodness. All right, are you gonna pay for the WoW Vanilla subscription?
I am, yes.
I will. I probably will.
All right, there you go. So there is a market.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna pay for sure. But
I'm freaking pumped.
There's a lot of kids out there that don't have access to credit cards, and their parents don't want to give them their credit card. They play free-to-play games. I mean, there's a lot of people that just aren't willing to pay either. They're willing to bitch, but they're not willing to pay.
I was 15 and I paid for a subscription. I didn't have a job.
I feel like that's a cop-out. If you are a kid and you're too stupid to pay a subscription to figure it out,
steal your parents' credit card? Too stupid to
find
out?
No. There's so many ways. You can go to 7-Eleven, buy a prepaid Visa for $25.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can go to Costco, buy candy, and sell it when the teacher's not looking in class.
That's what we did.
That's what we did. We made a lot of money doing that, actually.
I did that in tech and design. We made a fortune.
It was your computer club, all right, to buy a mini computer.
Yeah, that's a fun story. I don't know if maybe it's post-game talk, but yeah, I think there is a market. I think the trick though is you got to keep the development budgets in the realm of sanity.
I mean, there's not just one thing. I want to take us there for a second and then segue us the hell out.
Yeah, I think there's only 3 games that are actually managing to pull off the subscription model today. Like you have World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy 14, and EVE Online. And the third one on that list is not nearly as big as the other ones. Even ESO has this buy-to-play model now. So there must be a reason other companies they're all moving away from this, except the legacy guys for the most part.
I want to point out that just because a lot of companies do something doesn't mean that anybody knows what they're doing. And my example, of course, is I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make ton of Flat Circle again. Lots of scam coins out there. Lots of scam coins.
Yeah.
So
they're making money. They know what they're doing. The guys made them rich. They scammed a lot of people.
So is this when we announce? Are we gonna announce MMO coin right now? That's the big announcement. That's why I'm back, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're all gonna get rich off MMO coins.
All right, guys. PayPal all your money to Sean at MMOs.com, and I'm gonna make MMO coin, and we're all gonna get rich. And by we, I mean us. I mean all of us. I'm sorry.
We only accept payment in Ethereum or Bitcoin. Things like there are no chargebacks, so there's no way to get your money back, and there's no legal.
We do have a layaway option.
Yeah, Gumble's actually been working on that white paper for the past year. It's gonna knock the socks out of you guys.
What else you got for me? What else is going on in MMO verse?
There's another big one. There's layoffs at my favorite crowdfunded game, Chronicles of Elyria.
That's true.
No.
Unlike Camelot Unchained, Chronicles of Elyria could not find funding, so they also went looking for a investor or a publisher, and unfortunately, they came up empty. Nobody wanted to doll out the cash for them, and they had to lay off a few people. Now they claim it wasn't that many, and they're going back to their previous level, yada yada. But if you couple this with the fact that they had to dump Spatial OS earlier this week or last week, things are not looking good for the game.
They dumped Spatial OS. Wasn't that their backbone?
Yes.
Yeah. And what was the code?
It was it's like the Spatial OS is the fabric of our game, and the reason we can do all the shit we can do. The fabric that our game is built on has been one of the core technologies of a lot of the game that achieves scalability, and they pumped that so much in there.
The fabric of a game is no big deal.
But we're not doing it for monetary reasons, and they ditched it.
Wait, so what's that other game that I'm just bringing this up just to make a point. What's that other game that's running on Spatial? Where
World is
you're in the clouds.
Yeah,
yeah. Is that still around? They're still doing all right.
They're still in closed alpha. No
I was just curious because
to
me that game always represented. So I know we talked about Spatial OS, so not to rehash what it is, but that game always represented to me what the engine was supposed to be capable of. So I just wonder maybe it's too difficult to work with. And they finally realized that, a year and a half after they they kickstarted in terms of Chronicles.
They said something like trying to fix all the problems within Spatial OS was too costly, is what they said.
So they're blaming the engine instead.
They're blaming the engine.
That's pro. That's definitely the way to go. You never take responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
You always blame somebody else. That's how you get ahead. That's how you become president. So anyway,
that's what my elite team does. No, my elite teammates do all the time. Right? Overwatch as well.
Take a cue from playing games. Always blame someone else, or blame the lag.
There's something about this story which I don't like a lot, and I do want to kind of mention it.
Yes.
And the Jeremy Walsh, founder of Soulbound Studios, basically said that he basically said that publishers were trying to change his vision for the game. That's why he couldn't get a deal. All right. He said publishers were disinclined to take risks on an innovative game such as Chronicles of Elyria without changing the intended vision, with things like microtransactions, loot boxes, or other features that prioritize revenue over player experiences. So he basically is saying that I could have gotten a deal had I sold out. But because I love you guys and because I love my vision, I didn't sell out to the evil publishers because they wanted to change my game. But the reality is, I don't think that's true. I think he's saying a lot to save face. Obviously, this is speculation. I don't know for sure. But it just sounds like he didn't get a deal because he was a very ambitious game with no experience making video games. I don't know how anyone's giving Chronicles of Elyria money. But he fooled a lot of average Joes to fund him. But I don't think he's fooling any publishers because these people are involved in the industry. They're not just going to give money to a guy who's never made video games before.
You actually might have a point, only because this happened around the same time that Camelot Unchained was also speaking to publishers, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and they're also a subscription game with no loot boxes. So why do they got funding?
They got funding because Mark Jacobs, the guy behind Camelot Unchained, he actually has experience in the industry. He made Dark Age of Camelot. He sold it to EA for over $100 million. He made money for his investors. He's got, he's done this before.
Mm-hmm.
This is not his first rodeo. But Jeremy Walsh, this is literally his first time making this game. It's insane that no one's gonna give him money. And the fact that he blamed the loot boxes, it's insane. Because loot boxes were all over Reddit. They were all over the news, the game news about being evil and shit. He's just trying to capture that hatred and blame publishers for trying to change his vision. Here's the reality: there was no deal. No one wanted to give any money because this guy's never done anything before, and I don't think the game is in a state where they can actually show it off as like a playable product, and that's why he couldn't get money.
Actually, this story, when you compare it to Camelot Unchained, there is something to be said about making your own engine, because I think one of the reasons Camelot Unchained did get a deal is because they actually made their own engine, and during the Q&A and the press releases, he was talking about how he had one of the investors in the office, right? And they put on VR goggles, and then in their engine, right? You can like build buildings, right? They use it internally to like construct the terrain in their game. It's called Cube, Camelot Unchained Building Environment. So that part of the game is done, the environment builder. So basically, what they strapped these VR goggles on his investor. The game is not VR or anything, but they just did it anyway. And then like, look, you can build your own castles. And then the investor was just blown away. Like, whoa, it's so cool. All right, you guys are in.
He's a 50-year-old guy. He's for the first VR for the first time. He can take my money.
Like if you're Chronicles of Elyria and using the Unreal Engine, right? I mean, investors gonna ask you, what is proprietary here? And you're gonna say nothing. We're using off the shelf. We're basically using someone else's engine. At least the Camelot Unchained guys are saying, look, even if our game fails, this can be used to make a billion new games, or licensed.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
I don't like Chronicles of Elyria. The game's never gonna happen. Never gonna happen, boys. You heard it here.
All right. I don't think so either, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it'll happen, and it'll be in pre-alpha for 30 years, and that's it.
Oh, I want to give you. I gave you the wrong link over there. Let me give you a quality link. I want you to share this to the stream real quick. This link right here. This is why. This was the golden era of free-to-play MMOs. All right. Look at this link. I wanted to appreciate this MapleStory link for a second. All right.
I know.
This is back in 2006. All right. This guy, he summons a Balrog in Kerning City, and he just kills all the noobs. I love that you could have done this in MapleStory back in the day. This is amazing.
I remember this happening to me somewhere.
Happened to me all the time. It was amazing.
It used to happen in Ragnarok Online private servers.
Yes, they summoned high-level monsters in town. Yeah, I remember.
It was a lot of fun.
But it was amazing. And this game was hugely popular back then too. This didn't turn people away from the game. The hardcore element, I think they allowed this because I think Nexon wanted people to realize that this was this was a dangerous game. Shit could happen. All right, shit can go from 0 to 100 very quickly.
Dangerous game.
Spontaneous.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the spontaneous element of MapleStory and of these old school games, whether there's Ragnarok or MapleStory, it was just a nice touch. It just added more to the world. You could just interact with the world in this way. Obviously, it was a form of griefing to a degree as well, but it was, I don't know, it created memories that were very, memorable. Now that when I play a game, it's so like vanilla. I'm just playing a single player game for the most part.
I'm gonna contest your point that this was something Nexon thought about. I think this didn't enter Nexon's idea. I think the old school MMORPG developers, they were real world builders. So they set basic rules, and then they let them play out, and then they led to fun, exciting, like unplannable events like this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and too many games today are theme parks where every step for the progression, every step from beginning to end is kind of planned, and so you don't have this kind of spontaneous events or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, that's fair. When you plan it out a bit too much, it becomes it gets boring. It's got to be spontaneous. It's got to be just set the rules and let everything else kind of happen as it may. This happened all the time in old MapleStory though. This happened, it was fun. I just remember I've died to this many times, and when you die, you lose like hours worth of experience because old MapleStory pre Big Bang was the slowest thing in the world.
That's why I hacked.
Same till I got banned. I got 10-year ban to MapleStory or OG MapleStory for hacking, and that 10-year ban actually expired, so I can go back to my OG account. Is that something? A 10-year ban, and when that happened, like that's basically banned forever, right? 10 years, but nope.
It's passed.
It's passed.
That's amazing.
It is. And I logged back to that character, and it was like a level 50 mage or something, and I was like, damn, this is my guy. It's my character. I'm out of jail. Funny. The whole world changed. It's like that scene in the Shawshank Redemption. When you leave jail, you leave prison, the whole world is different.
Yeah.
And everyone's
hard to readjust.
I couldn't readjust, so I offed myself.
Oh wow.
I didn't play that character anymore.
I don't think that's what Andy did.
No, that's what the guy did. The other character did though in Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, he did.
Sad.
Oh, you just brought me down, dog.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Great movie though. Great movie.
Good movie. Yeah, go see it.
All right, I got a story about Albion Online.
All right, take it away.
I hope it's uplifting.
Actually, it's not. Sadly, it is not doing so hot.
You guys suck.
So they had a round of layoffs as well, and these we have specific numbers for, unlike the Elyria one. So they had a team of 50, and they went down to 31, from 50 to 31. They claim it's because they ramped up during launch to handle the launch hype or influx, and now as the game has leveled off, shall we say, they are reducing back to pre-release levels. So here's a chart here I graphed. I stole from Reddit, showing the active player count, active character count. So week 2 after release, it peaked about 148,000, and then it dropped rather sharply all the way down to below 25,000 19 weeks after release. And that was around when the company said, you know what, you can't track our players anymore. That's never.
I wonder why.
That's never a good sign. So what do you guys think of this one? I know Gumble. We played this like 2 years ago in like one of its alphas. Yeah.
They even gave me the Uber gold tier bullshit.
Founders pack. You got the best one.
Yeah. And it didn't sway my opinion. I had hope for Albion Online. I really did. It seemed like there was something there that if it was polished out when we had played it in early access, that it could have been a really fun world-building, EVE, fantasy RPG kind of driven game. And I guess that's not how it worked out. I don't know, it didn't catch my interest and I went back to it. I think I was busy with other games. What is funny, though, and what I find kind of sad is unlike the brute honesty of Paragon, we kind of get, what's the word? Kind of walking around the edge of around the periphery of the truth here by saying that, we had a successful launch and this is normal and stuff. Yeah, of course, but you didn't hire those people and tell them, "Oh, we're gonna fire you when the game levels off." That's kind of it's kind of unfortunate for the people that came on to the project. Mm-hmm. Probably a real blow.
Yeah.
So I feel for that.
It's a total cop out, I think, because look, it is common in retail games like big console. You hire lots of people, and then once the game is released, that's it. It's over. So you can let some people go. Yeah. But with an MMORPG, it's supposed to only grow from launch. You should need more staff if the game is growing. More customer support, more developers, new content, everything. And they even said, "Oh, we're growing. We're growing right now." So they're lying about something. If you're growing, you need more staff. 31 people can't run a growing MMORPG. Amar, you told me something about the cost of running World of Warcraft. Yes. Just the customer support costs were huge, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know if you have the exact numbers, but basically, there's no way they're lying about the fact that the game is growing. They have to be. There's no way it would make sense to lay those people off otherwise.
Actually, yeah, I got the number from Kotaku over here. How much has WoW cost to run since 2004? And that's up until for 5 years since 2004. So from 2004 to like 2009, 2008ish, they spent about $200 million on upkeeping the game, which, by the way, is multiples of the current development. Was the multiples of the development costs for the game, and their biggest expense was customer support. And I think we talked about Nexon, the CEO, talking about development costs for their games, and they talk about development costs pre-launch and post-launch. And most of the cost for a game comes after launch, not before launch. In fact, I think it was either 10% or 20% was during launch, and then 80% of the expenses for running the game after launch. Mm-hmm. So it's exactly what you said. These MMOs and online games, the expenses for running these games is basically servicing the games, adding new content, customer support. All that shit has to keep happening. If they're scaling back now, it's a pretty disingenuous reason. They're scaling back because the game is losing players. That's why.
Yeah.
Not
exactly.
because they're adjusting to post-launch. No. Yeah, just losing players.
Yeah.
Also, can you scroll down just to the video? Just to the.
Sure.
Okay, here's the issue. Never trust a man with a nascent mustache ever.
A nascent mustache.
Never, ever. This is the lesson you got to learn. Look at that. He's gonna go home that night. He's gonna shave it right off. That's as much as he lets it get to. Don't trust him.
Yeah, but to be fair, they are still developing the game. So, and it is buy to play. You don't need a subscription. There is a premium subscription if you want it, which I don't want to get into, but it's basically a mandatory premium subscription. You gain skills at triple the rate or something. It's like absurd.
Yeah, let's not hash that one up. You want to fire up that grill, cook up some steaks.
Yeah,
go around and around.
It's actually the least generous buy to play model I've seen, to be honest.
Yes,
it's
I'm
mandatory.
going to agree preliminarily.
Well, there it is, though. I hope if you guys are still playing it, you're enjoying it. It is very different. It's all PvP. It's just a huge gang fest. And I've for years I've been waiting for a medieval EVE Online, because EVE is way too abstract for me. I know Gumby, you played it a lot more than I did.
I did.
It's just too abstract for me.
I still like it.
Why?
Why? Because I don't know. I never got into the corporation stuff. I was always a solo player, which is odd. What do I like about EVE? I have a love of Excel that I can only express in space.
All right, fair enough.
EVE is your Excel skin, all right?
Yes, I like zooming all the way out and never seeing myself in the game.
Mm-hmm. I have another funny fact about Albion here. So, back when the last time we could get their player numbers, right? So it's supposed to be a PvP game, right? Basically all there's almost no PvE content in this game.
Yes, minimal.
And despite that, okay, these are the number of players that actually gained any fame doing PvP. Okay, so when the player base was down to 24,000, only 6,000 of those did any PvP whatsoever. Mm-hmm. So this shows me that even in a PvP only game, only 25% of players are actually interested in doing any PvP. So I think this has shot my hopes that we'll ever get like a PvP themed MMORPG again. So for that reason, Crowfall and Camelot Unchained are both in dire straits IMO, because they're both PvP only kind of games.
Or you could argue they did the PvP poorly, or it was very limited what you can do with the PvP. I mean, the game as a whole, Albion, there was stuff to do, but it was very grindy, and there wasn't a lot there once you scratch the surface. Because we played Albion at launch, and we played for the launch week, we played all week. We were addicted to that game for the first week, and it kind of just dropped off because there's no sense of discovery in that game. You figure out everything in the first week. Like the first day, you figure everything out about the game, and you just figure out, okay, now I gotta keep grinding. Like there was no discovery. There was no sense of accomplishment as you kept playing. I don't know. It was just, I think it was the game more so than the PvP model. But we have seen PvP heavy games do poorly, including all the relaunches for Darkfall. There's like 2 relaunches for that game. It's a PP heavy game, but it's not going to do well.
All right.
Jeez, guys, bolster my spirits, please.
One more time, I'm going to bolster your spirits, Gumby. I want to talk about monetization with a new game coming out, all right? Magic the Gathering Arena just explain their unlocking card system. So, if you guys ever heard of Magic the Gathering, it's a card game, and they have a digital version coming out called Magic the Gathering Arena. It's a free-to-play Hearthstone competitor. Shadowverse competitor.
Hold up. How many times have they made this game into a digital game? I feel like they tried this every year.
Dozens of times.
Yeah.
They've done Magic the Gathering Online was the first one. It's still going. They've done Magic Duels, and they've done probably at least 2 other ones in between there somewhere.
There's like a console one too. I remember years ago. I saw a commercial for it. It was a console one.
Yeah, they've done lots of these. But this is I think this is going to be their flagship one. This could be their head-on. They've seen Hearthstone, they've seen the light, and they want to copy that model, right? And what's weird is like they're saying they're going to be very generous with the game. It'll be free to play. You'll be able to unlock cards all the time. You know, every time you win a game, you'll be able to unlock some bonus cards, up to 30 cards per day just by winning. You get random booster packs every week based on how many times you've played. And they're saying that they're going to be very generous with it, right? But there's an interesting monetization decision that came into Magic the Gathering Arena, which I'm curious what you guys think about. There is no dusting system or crafting system. I don't know if you, Gummy, if you played Hearthstone.
No,
but
nope, still never. Really glad about that.
It's a card game where you get packs and you can actually disenchant the cards you don't want, and you use that as currency to make the cards you do want, right? Shadowverse does it as well. It's a pretty standard system in card games. Yeah, you basically just tear up your cards and then make new cards with them. And it lets you, if you want to make a specific deck, the crafting system, the dusting system allows you to do that really pretty easily. Because you're missing that one card, you can just make it. You can craft it yourself by getting rid of the shitty cards you're never going to use. So Magic the Gathering Arena does not do that. And their reasoning behind that was that they don't want you to collect cards. They don't want to see you destroy cards, is their reason.
They want to see you buy packs. Okay, gotcha.
Exactly. That's the real reason. They want to see you buy packs.
They want to see that fucking credit card process.
Yeah.
Let me get that money, baby. You ain't disenchanting shit in Magic the Gathering.
I actually like this.
You do?
In Hearthstone, I don't disenchant because I think it's stupid. It's just I hate stupid systems. Like, when we're playing Paladins and we're just cards floating around for no reason?
Yeah.
See, I don't mind card games when you play cards, but adding a system or feature or whatever you want to call it to a game where it doesn't cohere, like there's no attempt made at coherence, is just stupid in my opinion. And in Hearthstone, turning the cards into like dust and then crafting new cards with dust, it was just a stupid concept. If instead there was an NPC you could just trade with, you trade him, like if you have a duplicate, you trade him, and then you get the card you want back, right? And there's some kind of value there. That I would actually be okay with that.
You're serious?
I'm definitely serious.
Are you real? Why? Yes. Who cares? The extra level of abstraction.
They're digital cards.
It doesn't.
The game is digital.
Well, I mean, the NPC.
I'm sorry, they're not dust. It's binary code abstractly represented as dust.
No, but it's like an MMORPG. I want to be able to walk. I want to be able to eat. If there's an apple, I want to be able to eat the apple. Like double click the apple.
And by eat the apple, you mean you want to go in. You want to press I to open your inventory, which is definitely immersive. No. Then you want to right click the apple, and you want to click eat, and then you want to hear a chomp 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 sound as your health goes up. Yes. Your character makes no motion at all. Just stands there silently, just like we all eat apples.
Obviously, we can't. Nothing's perfect yet. We're not. All right, but if there's a simple in-game mechanism for doing something like this, why couldn't they have an NPC like Hearthstone, the cinematic it launches with, where you're in the tavern? Imagine in that tavern there were NPCs sitting around, and you can play them, right? You can verse them in a match, or there's some you can trade with, and then that trading system with NPCs was it effectively did the exact same thing as the current dust crafting system. I would like a lot better.
I think you are the only one on this earth that sees that as an issue. Yes, because
I think that's fine as long as it takes the same number of clicks.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead. I was jumping the gun.
So when you buy card packs in Hearthstone or Shadowverse, you just kind of buy them in the store, right? There's no like NPC standing there selling them to you. Like, you want to see like a merchant behind the table, and you want to see an avatar reach into your pocket, pull out some gold coins, drop in his hand, and he goes to the back and he pulls a card.
There's already an animation, like they rumble and stuff. Instead, in that background, when you're opening a pack in Hearthstone, right? The current pack, if in the background there was like a goblin, like trading, like selling you packs or something, like just a still image even. Okay, it would do a lot for me.
No.
Okay.
This might be the most fruitful discussion I've ever taken part in, I have to say.
I don't think it adds nothing. You want this extra layer of like.
It's the same. No, it's the same. It's the same effort. It's the same effort, but it's more cohesive. I think it's important.
I think they thought about that and it just came out like really jumbled and poorly done. Because I don't think I can't imagine that making it easier. Because their current system I think works really well with dusting Hearthstone. and Shadowverse, like yes, the card just kind of like turns into dust, and you just from your library of cards, you can see all the options for what you want to craft. Anytime you want to interact with this goblin to trade him cards, you make it more complicated than it has to be. I think their system is actually marvelously designed because it's just so simple. Again, it's for your card collection area where you already have, where you see all your existing cards, and you can see the gaps in the cards you don't have. On the same menu, you can see how many of that card you have. You can craft new ones, and your system would just make that harder and just less intuitive. It would make you happy, but 90% of players unhappy. IMO.
I think
Cobra.
Yeah. Again, it's a small thing. So how is Magic the Gathering doing? Is there trading or no?
No.
No, I don't think so.
Are you kidding? Anytime there's trading is open doors to scams.
Yeah.
And that's the reason Hearthstone doesn't have trading either, because it's scams.
People are gonna get hacked. People are gonna get hacked if there was trading.
They're gonna trade all their rare cards for like a Pidgey. All right. And it's funny because they're modeled for dusting. If we had used a traditional dusting system, it would have limited our ability to be as generous with card rewards. In addition, we simply didn't want players to need to constantly evaluate what to destroy. We wanted a path for players to complete their collections. But that's really, it was a monetization issue. I don't think they're being honest framing that as a design decision. They want to make more money because if you're playing Hearthstone, you're playing any card game. If you're missing one card from your deck, right? Sometimes it's critical for your deck. And what they realize is people are going to spend like $100 on card packs so they get that one card they need. Because in real life trading card games, you can trade. You can buy cards individually, actually, in real life trading card games on websites. But you can't do that in Magic the Gathering Arena. If they want to be honest, they have to let you buy cards specifically without booster packs. You have to buy rare cards for a fixed amount, legendary cards for a fixed amount. If they want to be honest to that system, but they're not going to. They realize they can make more money forcing you to buy loot boxes.
This is one of the rare occasions that we just fundamentally disagree. I do see their point.
Rare.
Yes, I think it's rare. So
okay,
I think because we're on such opposite ends here. I think
I didn't wait long enough. Go ahead, keep going.
There's such a super disconnect for me with the concept of destroying cards in a collectible card game.
Do you think they gave any thought to what you just said, or did they just?
I mean, I would hope so. I can't read their mind, but I would hope they did.
But do you not see the problem? You've played Magic, you've played Yu-Gi-Oh, you've played countless card games.
Yes.
If you can't buy individual cards, you not realize it becomes nearly impossible to make a deck that you want without spending hundreds of dollars on new card packs.
I didn't say you can't. I should be able to buy. There should be like NPCs you trade with.
I want to point something out here. Okay, so I used to buy Yu-Gi-Oh cards from a bodega in a town called Union City, and when I got cards that I had doubles of, I would go up to the bodega, and what I would do is I would take those cards and I would just rip them up in front of the guy at the counter, and I would go, "Give me more cards," and he would hand me a new pack. And I used to think, boy, I sure wish I could just turn this into dust, snort it, and then get more cards. And I found out that actually works, and I really appreciated the new mechanic compared to going over to the bodega and ripping up the card. And I got some fake god cards out of that one.
Wow.
Yeah, the ones from the 3rd season of the show.
Yeah, I hear that's how it works in Duel Monsters now.
Duel Monsters is really just ahead of the game. And if you guys just play Duel Monsters like men, I'm sorry, like people. Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
this is why I got kicked off the show in the first place.
Please don't assume our gender.
But anyway, I think that settles the debate. So can I get some positive news for freaking sake? Come on, give me something.
Oof. I'll give you something positive. Well, there's nothing really uplifting, but there's a big update on the Final Fantasy 14. But I think I'm the only one that plays Final Fantasy 14.
I like Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah. You know what? I got some uplifting news for you.
Give me some uplifting news.
Some uplifting fucking news. All right. Somebody in Final Fantasy 14 did a world's first this last week. They were able to do the first 200 floors of a dungeon called Palace of the Dead by themselves. Now,
cool.
World first by themselves simply don't sound very cool. But what's cool about this is that this challenge has been out for 7 months. So this has been out for 7 months, and not a single soul has completed it since till just now. Which is actually, it's been longer than that. I'm pretty sure it's been out since November.
Vanilla was like that too.
Over a year.
Final Fantasy had the same thing with turn 5 in the last dungeon, and it took. I remember when Worlds first happened for that, and it was pretty cool. But because so many people had tried and they would always fail, and when there's always a challenge out of reach, and we've talked about this. Yeah, I'm sure you guys have talked about it even when I wasn't here. When there's a challenge that's out of reach for all the players, it's something that everyone looks at and they go, "I can do that. I can be the one that gets that first," and that's awesome. It's really cool.
And actually, one of my buddies, Witchy, who has actually been trying to run that dungeon solo for a long time. In fact, they've dedicated easily 250, 300 hours running that dungeon solo over and over again.
Yeah, I
just
believe
that
it.
dungeon. I think they're number 5 in the world.
Wow.
They got to floor 188.
Congratulations.
But 188, nobody remembers number 5.
No one remembers number 5.
Yeah, no one. Oh, there's only one player that's ever got to 200 by themselves. It's this one player on it, Usami. Let me give. I gotta say the name.
Are they Asian?
Usagi Mimi on the Japanese server.
Of
You
course,
nailed it.
of course.
All right, a Japanese player got it, but it's being number 5 is still pretty impressive, and it's kind of cool that this challenge has been out for over a year, but it's only been feasible since the expansion launched because a class called Red Mage was the only class capable of really doing this. Every other class is near impossible to do. It is practically impossible to do it on, but I don't know. Maybe someone will find a glitch for it. That's kind of cool. That's uplifting news. And beyond that, there's some 4.2. The big update for the game is launching on January 30th. I linked. I linked the video for it, showing off their latest trailer. It continues the game story, adds new dungeons, actually adds some Final Fantasy 6 bosses to the game.
Ooh.
Have you played Final Fantasy 6?
Yeah, of
Kefka's
course.
coming in. Kefka's in the game now.
What?
He's gonna be a boss, and there's Doom Train.
I hope he
Doom
looks
Train.
like his model from Final Fantasy VI, but he's just 10 times bigger than everyone else.
Yeah, actually, I'm pretty sure he should be in that trailer somewhere. You should be able to see it somewhere.
I'm
in there.
pretty sure Doom Train is the best name for a boss ever.
Yeah.
Is it just a giant train?
I actually never played Final Fantasy 6.
I played it, but I never got far.
Man, this is a big update. I have not been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 14 lately because I've cleared Omega 1, 2, 3, and 4 countless times, and this is gonna introduce the new tier raid content. That should keep me busy for a while, learning all that new stuff. I don't know. I really enjoy wiping and learning through raids, and I think it's a really fun experience. So
we need Gumble here for this. Okay, he's arguing. Omar and I argued for days about this. Okay, so
settle it.
Okay.
Oh, one of those rare times when you disagree? Go ahead, please.
Okay. Omar kept saying raid in Final Fantasy 14. So one time he's like, "Oh, watch me do this raid." So I actually watched what he was doing. He literally queued up for this giant floating circle with one fight, one boss, and 8 people. Right? That is not, in my opinion, that is not a raid. It's a boss fight. It's like some kind of queue. I would not call that a raid. A raid for me.
We're arguing over definitions again.
Like, you have to wind through a dungeon. Fight the lackeys before you get to the big boy.
Oh, jeez.
You played Final Fantasy 14.
I'm not arguing for a specific number.
Didn't you?
I'm not arguing.
I did raid in Final Fantasy 14.
There you go.
He just said he raided. When somebody, but I was going through dungeons with a group of 7 other people. I do want to say that the word raid, when I normally use it, I do think of a big party traversing a dungeon, taking on multiple bosses, and that a single instance boss fight isn't something I would call a raid, though I don't think it's wrong to call it one. I think if we want to pick, it's just arguing semantics, but if we wanted to pick a definition that suits you both, I would say a raid is any time a party bigger than the standard party goes after a task. So like doing an Ifrit fight, the last Ifrit fight with 8 people, that's a raid because it's a bigger party.
All right.
So there you go.
But when I use the word myself, I normally think of a World of Warcraft 40-man dungeon. I'm all tabbing out to play Counter-Strike and unfollow while someone loots the core hounds, and it's total chaos and it's a big mess, and it's like this epic grand 4-hour excursion. But I understand if you want to say killing a single
it's all
boss
semantics,
is a
so you
raid.
can't be wrong here. But my point is, in Final Fantasy itself, they do have raids, don't they? They have bigger parties, like 20, something about 20 players?
Yes.
Okay.
No, yeah, yes.
So there are 20, and then from what I understood, there are like trash mobs before the boss in some modes?
Yes.
So
and those are their own thing.
Yeah, but so those are raids, aren't they? What do they call those then? Like, what do you call those? So what do you call those, you personally?
Rads.
You can call those raids as well. Sure, they're not separate, but it's like one's a raid, one's not. They're both raids.
Okay, so if I'm killing like a level 1 hog with my friend, we partied, okay, and we're fighting the level 1 hog in the starting zone. Is that a raid now?
If it's presented as a boss fight and you can
it's a purple, it's a special.
Sure, sure, it's a raid.
Okay, I mean,
is doing Dire Maul? Why is Dire Maul not a raid?
Again,
any like level 10 dungeon or something? Are those all raids?
Well, I think what Gumbo would say with the larger than size party, larger than average size party.
I think that is that makes sense. I think a lot of games, anytime you have a large oversized party, it can be considered a raid.
Well, I'm seeing Doom Train. It's literally just a train.
It looks fun.
Yeah. All right, I just wanted to see where Gumbo stood on that. Glad we got that out of the way.
But basically, I'm going to be going back to my grind of wiping and learning one new mechanic and stressing out and then doing this for a couple weeks and then I'll be done till the next patch. The usual. Ubers is totally a raid. Can you do Ubers with 8 people?
Yes, you could do. A fun thing about Vanilla WoW was a lot of the dungeons you could raid them. Nothing was stopping you from going in with like 10 people, but you only really needed 5. Like I remember so many times we were doing Ubers, or that one Skolomance or whatever. We would wipe with 10 people, and then with other groups I could just do it with 5.
Because with 10 people, someone's always fucking up.
Yeah, exactly. It was just fun. But it was fun that the fact it left it open for you to either do it with 10, 50. Ubers, you didn't need 15 people for Ubers. You could do that with like one group.
They changed it.
Oh, did they?
After,
okay.
Yeah, Ubers went from 15 to 10. I think very early on.
I'm actually looking at the Wikipedia page for raid for gaming. It just have a mission in a video game in which the number of people attempt to defeat another number of people at a player versus player, a series of computer-controlled enemies in a player versus environment battlefield, or a very powerful boss.
Or
term raid itself stands from the military definition of a sudden attack and or seizure from objective.
Oh my god. See, this is getting too technical. I was trying to have a nice, back and forth about it.
Here's the more fun part. If you scroll down, there's a health risks for raiding.
Health risks.
On Wikipedia. The fact that raids often require consecutive hours of constant gameplay leads to some believe that it is physically unhealthy activity. 2003 study by the National Institute of Health found that playing MMORPGs for more than 20 hours per week correlates to obesity and nutritional imbalance, as well as increased propensity of bone loss and muscular atrophy.
Oh boy.
Wow, dude, wow.
MMORPGs definitely are detrimental to your health. I have sciatica in my leg, so
what does that mean?
Sitting. It's like my muscle tenses up, and it's like a Charlie horse that you just have all the time.
I don't know.
I'm feeling it right now.
I don't know what any of those words mean.
You don't know what Charlie horse is?
No.
You have a horse, name it Charlie.
Someone in chat help me out. Does anyone know what a Charlie horse is?
Charlie horse? What are you like?
Yeah,
are you from like the Are you from like the 1820s? Like,
come on,
boy, sure got a Charlie horse in my veins. What are you saying?
It's on what the hell? WebMD. It's a real thing.
Charlie?
Real thing.
I've never heard that word. The combination of words. A cramp? I know what a cramp is.
It's a cramp.
Then why'd you say cramp? Then why'd you say?
Because it's more than a cramp.
Charlie horse? Oh my god.
I wonder where they got that name from.
Sons of bitches.
Oh my god.
It's a colloquial term in Canada and the United States for painful involuntary spasms or cramps. Colloquial. I don't know your slang for medical terms, alright, Gumby? I'm sorry.
That is some like Midwest farmer, like 1800 shit right there.
Eat shit, both of you. I'm out of here.
I've heard it, but I've never known what it actually was.
Really?
Nod.
You heard it?
Yeah, I've heard it before.
Thank goodness.
I was never sure what it was.
I've never.
I never actually bothered to inquire either.
Tell us how you got your injury. Sitting.
Playing video games.
Literally sitting.
So how do I tell?
All right, listen. You know how gamers they get? All right, I'm changing the conversation. All right. Gamers get chairs, right? Gamers, there's those gaming chairs. Every single gamer with a low-cut shirt on Twitch has the same chair that some sponsor gets for them. So thinking that I'm going to save myself in my back, because tall people have back problems, I buy the most comfortable chair for overweight people that's on Amazon. Okay? Yeah, you think you buy a nice big comfy chair for a big like fat ass, it's gonna have a lot of cushion. This chair, I've been sitting on this for a year and a half. I'm already down to the frame underneath. This chair is painful. I have no idea how someone twice my weight can sit in this chair. I don't understand. Did those gamer chairs? Are they made of like astronaut material or something?
Have you tried a gamer chair, Gumby?
I've never sat in a gamer chair.
Looks like you're not an official gamer.
I need that the thing with the back and it has the 3 holes. It looks like a race car chair.
Was it one called like Need for a Chair? Like instead of Need for Speed.
Bullshit.
Need for chair.
It's something stupid like that.
No, it's not Need for. I thought I could have sworn it was Need for Chair.
Need for Seat.
Need for Seat?
Oh, that could be it. This
is what they look like. This is
Need for Seat USA. Yeah, Need for Seat USA.
Yeah.
I think it's all marketing too, Karina. I'm sure they're comfortable, but do they last? Look, they're so expensive. $279.
Dude, there's this one company that makes like super expensive chairs, like $5,000 chairs.
What?
for like Silicon Valley like execs.
I've seen those office chairs, and they don't even look like much, right? They look like they're made of aluminum.
Yeah, what are they called? Oh man, it's a big brand that makes them for all the freaking.
PewDiePie has a chair. That makes sense, actually. Of course, he has a chair.
There's actually a $1.5 million office chair.
What?
I'm gonna go link you this chair. Maybe we'll take a look. Their website looks disgusting.
Isaiah has no sympathy. Should have been fatter. I'm drinking. I'm trying.
This is the chair I want, guys. Look at the stream.
It's funny. Everyone's telling me that bigger people have more cushion, and that's where I goof. And you know what? They're probably right. What is this?
It's like a dentist's office, but instead it's your gaming center.
Ew. That's embarrassing. If I went to somebody's house and they had this, I would be disappointed.
They're like lying down, they swerve towards you. Oh, come in.
What the fuck is that chair?
I envisioned that so easily.
I know.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
I'm with Gumby though. I got like this really big fat person chair. They're called big and tall chairs, and it just kind of envelops me, and I fucking love it. This is the best chair I've had in my life.
You guys are chair princesses. I got like the $100 first one I saw at IKEA, and that's it. It's still going.
No, I wouldn't trade my chair for anything. This is a quality chair. I think
link me your chair.
I gotta find it for you.
Find me your chair. I'm due for a new chair.
I recommend this chair. I think you'll like it a lot. But you should, if I look at them, you make sure to sit on it first if possible at a nearby office.
Yeah, I will.
Because this I paid like $250 for this chair. But
yeah, this fat guy chair was about the same, maybe a little less. I think I got it on sale.
I can see myself with this chair for another like five years easy though.
Damn.
This is
the best good chair. These are the conversations that count. Because I'm telling you, when people play MMOs, you're sitting. Or you have a standing desk. As someone mentioned.
Actually, I have a treadmill desk, guys. I jog while I'm raiding.
Yeah, you're an asshole then.
You know, when I'm playing WoW, I have to actually jog as my character jogs.
Oh, that's why you suck.
You gotta be immersed in your game, right?
Yeah.
If you're not actually physically moving, you just can't be immersed. But I think gamers spend a lot of money on their peripherals. Like they buy the latest $100 mechanical keyboards. You know, I got the $50 Razer. You got the mouse. You got the expensive like gamer monitor. They don't spend money on their chairs. And that's an important part of.
No, they buy their favorite Twitch streamers gamer chair.
I actually have not sat on a chair that I actually think is worth anything more than the $20 folding Costco chairs. Omar's chair doesn't do it. I need it to be rock firm first of all, and it has to be coming out at the bottom. You know those like ergonomic ones that jut out.
Oh yeah.
If I can find the right chair, I'm willing to pay $1,000, no problem. I literally haven't found a chair worth more than $5 picnic table chair. They're all the same to me.
I got it. You know, like some people they do a custom suits. You should do custom chairs. Like we
Maybe
measure your width.
I don't know what I need.
And we designed a chair to like envelop you.
The chair that grows with you.
Yes. Ooh, organic.
Okay. Like Omar, you try my new
organic chair.
You try my new mattress, right, Omar? I like everything super firm. Like this mattress is like a rock, and I love it. If I could find a chair like that kind of juts out properly and just rock hard.
Just sleep on the floor.
I used to. Yeah.
Wow, good for you.
I cannot envision anyone using that chair in the background of the video right now, like and be productive. It's impossible.
Oh, come in.
It's impossible. You just can't do it.
Penny for a chair. Thank you for that one bit.
Oh, speaking of chairs, I have a question about the industry. And it's a question I wanted to ask for this podcast, and that is, where is Bless Online?
Oh, Omar, you actually covered
it's actually happening. They released their developer roadmap on Steam.
I'm so proud of them.
This is actually the most misleading post on Steam because they called it the 2018 development roadmap, right? And there was no roadmap. Like you would think a development roadmap would like talk about some release schedules. No,
right?
It's literally nothing. They just basically said we want to make the game better. It's gonna happen eventually.
Oh,
but they stuck by the 2018 release schedule,
2018
right?
sometime.
Okay.
And basically, it was more of like a developer talk where they just like they talk about what they want to work on, and they basically just talked very ambiguous things like they want to make it more optimized. They want to make like vertical progression, horizontal progression, vertical growth and exploration for players.
Oh yeah, I understand some of these terms.
Yeah, but they're just saying things like it's I don't know. Talk is like the people at Chronicles of Elyria say things all the time too. You know, Asher Creation they say things, but doesn't mean you're gonna implement it. Like that's the hard part. Like they're basically saying we're gonna make an amazing game. Like
whoa,
everybody says that.
Whoa! It's on Steam.
It's gonna be on Steam. Yeah.
Okay, well that made one smart move.
Yeah, that's true. That is a smart move.
Okay, cool. I've I don't know. I don't think they had to change much. I really enjoyed it when we had played it. Mm-hmm. If I could only have understood more, and the lag was horrible. That kind of killed it. But
and the lag
okay, fingers crossed that when they go to redevelop this, they are smart about it. That NeoWiz is smart about it.
They wasted a lot of money on this. I think they're up to $70 million plus on this game so far.
Oh,
it's been a disaster for them, a financial disaster so far. I'm hoping they recoup some of that with the English launch. We'll have to wait and see. They got some of that back with Black Squad though. I don't know if you ever played Black Squad, Gumby. We should play that sometime. The game
I don't think so.
It's a poor man's CS:GO.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
Do you think the era of like companies like Aria Games is just over? Because like all these developers can just self-publish now on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
Like Tria Savior did. Like what is the purpose of those like third-party publishers?
They fund the development of the games a lot of the times.
Yes, but I'm talking about specifically ones like Aria, which are bringing over games for big companies. It's not like it's a studio.
They localize them. They localize them too. Like with our Area Games, they work with X Legend.
That's true. That's true.
Taiwanese company. They have a team. The Twin Saga had some of the best writing I've seen in an MMORPG, and just because how silly it was, it was a lot of fun.
All right. Stand corrected.
So there's some value there.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, yeah, they go direct to Steam. I mean, Bless is, I guess they're self-translating too themselves. But again, there's no roadmap here, unfortunately. It's just that they plan on working on the game. Is all they said. Maybe they should just label like a developer talk rather than a roadmap.
Well, good enough for me. And so that was the one piece of uplifting-ish news for you, Gumble.
There's a lot of down stuff this week, right?
Yeah,
a lot of down stuff.
Well,
a lot of downsizing, a lot of firings, a lot of shenanigans.
And with that, we're down on time for the podcast. So we're gonna call it here for YouTube.
It's been a pleasure.
Yes, this was Gumble's guest appearance. Hope you enjoyed.
He's aged quite a bit. If you can see his beard.
Yes, he's graying. He's graying on us.
We kept him young, boys. We kept him young.
It's all your fault, guys. All right, that's it, guys. Take care.
All right, later for you two.
See ya.